This episode is brought to you by Iams Pet Food. When you choose Iams dry dog or cat food, you can see a difference in your pet with your own eyes. Healthy energy in 5 days, healthy digestion in 10 days, and healthy skin and coat in just 25 days. Satisfaction for you and them. Guaranteed or your money back. Feed Iams dry dog or cat food and see a visible difference. Visit iams.com/difference to learn more.
Behind the bright lights and adrenaline of pro sports is an equally exciting world of negotiations and deal making.
That's what we cover each week on our podcast, The Deal.
I'm Alex Rodriguez, former baseball player turned business executive.
And I'm Jason Kelly, chief correspondent for Bloomberg Originals. Over the next couple months, we'll hear from all-stars like Jay Williams.
I want to be an owner one day.
Billie Jean King.
Learn the business.
And so many more. Listen to The Deal on Spotify.
I told her not to worry. I've been hacked before. Don't worry about it. Either send me a check or let me know when you get it straightened out. Then a few months later, it was, my uncle died. I'm not home. I'll be home in a few days. I'll call you with my husband's credit card. And then after that, I was ghosted, so.
This is the plaintiff, Heidi Warren. She says the defendant hired her to put her business logo and dog's pictures on her jacket. Now she's trying to stiff her on her pay. She also hired her to make some T-shirts, and now that everything is done, the woman refuses to pay her. She doesn't understand why, because she did an excellent job. The woman was happy and is now trying to get away with a free job. She's suing for $125, the amount she's owed. This is the defendant, Susan Soccer Muncie. She says she hired the plaintiff to embroider her jacket with her 2 award-winning dogs' images. And the woman gave her a cheap heat transfer of a decal and some bedazzled jewels. Even though she wasn't happy with the job, she just paid the woman to get rid of her through her PayPal account. PayPal says she received the money, and she doesn't owe her anything more. She's accused of running out on a bill.
All parties, please use your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
People's Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Marilyn Milian is now presiding. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Warren, you and your company are suing Ms. Susan Soccer Muncie for $125 and an unpaid bill. Tell me what happened.
We have a heat transfer embroidering crystal business. We go to trade shows and stuff. We do heat transfers on site. You bring a design and we'll do it right on site for you. I met her at Equine Affair, which was last year, actually a week ago this week. She brought us a jacket. She wanted me to take 2 photos of her dogs, turn them into silhouettes, create a new design for her business.
So she had the jacket with her at whatever.
Yes, it was her jacket. We brought it home. We don't require that you buy clothing from us. We can use your clothing or whatever. So it was her jacket. So I told her I'd take it home because I wanted to work on the photos when I had more time. So we brought it home.
Okay, question. Was there any paperwork filled out there?
The only thing that we fill out is a paper that we fill out for ourselves to know what to do with it. I had her email, so I was conversing. I have all the emails after we got back.
Okay.
What we're going to do with it. Showed her different designs. Got all the approvals before anything was done. Mailed it out. Got a confirmation email saying that she loved it. She wished the back had been a little lower, but she didn't mention it. So I said, I'm really sorry. I did send out a free T-shirt on me because I felt bad if there was any confusion. And I just haven't been paid. I've been hunting her down since.
Okay. When you communicated with her that you hadn't received payment, what did she say?
At first, she had said that her PayPal account had been hacked. She sent me screenshots of the PayPal account being hacked. I told her not to worry. I've been hacked before. Don't worry about it. Either send me a check or let me know when you get it straightened out. Then a few months later, it was, my uncle died, I'm not home, I'll be home in a few days, I'll call you with my husband's credit card. And then after that, I was ghosted. So it was, yeah.
Okay, what happened?
That actually, part of that is true, part of it isn't true. I did meet her at the equine affair. She had a booth set up with all the jackets, everything hanging. I did actually buy the jacket from her, maybe aunt, mom, somebody that was there. They had them all hanging down there. They were like $80, I think it was. And that's where I actually bought the jacket from. I tried it on there. And everything that was hanging up there was embroidered. I assumed everything was going to be embroidered. That's what we discussed verbally there.
Yeah, but she does embroidery, but she also does heat transfers.
That I wasn't aware of, because nothing that
you
was...
You thought that you were going to have all that embroidered. Let's look at the... I'm trying to find those pictures. Hold on.
I have the jacket, if it helps.
Yeah, actually, that helps. There we go.
The two dogs...
Can I have it? Just hand it over here.
Embroidered.
So you thought that all of this, and then the logos on the side sleeves of your, all of these logos on the sides, all this was going to be embroidered?
The back was going to be embroidered.
So you thought the back was going to be embroidered, but the sides were going to be heat transferred?
I didn't know what those were going to be, honestly. I just assumed, yeah, probably. But the back was going to be all embroidered with the two silhouettes of my dogs with the name.
Do you do embroidery?
I do embroidery. I do.
What would this have cost if it was embroidery?
Probably about $200.
Right, like that would be my theory too, but so when you received it, your first words were, I thought this was going to be embroidered, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, show me that.
Sorry.
Show me where you said that.
I believe you had copies.
No, I have copies of your text a year later where you're smack talking at each other. I'm asking, when you received the package, were your first words, wait, what? This is a heat transfer. I thought this was going to be embroidered. Are those your first words?
Yeah, I was shocked when I saw it.
I'm sorry. Are those your first words? Yeah. Then you're going to have to show them to me because I clearly missed them in your text. So go ahead and show me.
No, like to myself when I got it.
Oh, to yourself.
When I opened it, that's what I meant.
To yourself. But they aren't your first words to her, are they? And why is that important? Because if you really did think that was going to be embroidered, you would say, wait a second, the second you got it, and said, what is this? I thought this was going to be embroidered. That's what people who think they paid $75 for embroidering would say, right?
I did text that to her, though.
When?
I think it was a day or two later.
Okay, prove that what you just said. What's the date on that?
I don't have the date on
right,
it.
I do. That is not 2 or 3 days later. That's almost a year later when you guys are really upset at each other.
On this?
Give me the date of that. Prove the date of that.
I have another phone.
Then how do you know it's 2 or 3 days later? I'll show you the text. I've got them right here. Hello, this is what we have so far. This is from Heidi. We are thinking of using the neon glitter colors for everything. I don't know how you think that's embroidery. So don't think the black is black, LOL. The fireflies, and that means the black writing, the fireflies will have crystal on the butt where the red dot is. It's not really the butt. The bud, I think, is what she meant. So neon orange and green for the dogs and neon yellow for the words, or neon purple? Do the logos have to be any color? It's very clear it's not embroidery. Then you ask for other options. You decide on the wave, which was a good call. And then it goes back and forth, and you could, because these dogs are what? They're dock divers?
Dock diving dogs.
What does that mean?
They jump off a dock into a pool, into a 40-foot pool for...
It's a 40-foot drop?
It's a 40-foot pool. It's a 40-foot dock, and they run and they jump in the air, midair.
Do they do tricks? No. Oh, my gosh. All right, and then it goes on about the logos. Then you ask to add the other logos to the arm. That's all of the sponsor logos.
Yeah, for
right?
the dog sponsors.
And the gems were also an add-on. Okay. Back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth to make sure that you approved everything. Then she even asked you, is there an order you want the sponsors on the sleeve? Because they'll be stacked, and I don't know if one should be first or last, which is incredibly astute of her because, you know. And here's your response. Just got the jacket. I do love it. Didn't think it was going to cost that much because she sent you a bill for $125. You say, I was like the 75, maybe 100. because of course you know that you had a bunch of add-ons. Neither one of you mentioned to the other one how much the add-ons will cost, which is bad practice. When somebody asks for something else, say that'll be an X amount extra, is that okay? And then they say yes, and then you never have the problem. LOL. One thing I would have said, I wish the back wasn't as high up, maybe a little lower because my hair is long, but it looks great. Thanks. You know what's not there? I thought it was going to be embroidered. And I know it's not there because previously she said neon glitter. So, all right. I'm happy you like it. I'm sorry for the confusion. I did do 2 different photos, and I charged $25 per photo to take out all the background and trace them out. I'm sorry if that was not explained well enough. It's so hard sometimes when there are so many of us working. But the $50 for the pic will never be charged again now that we've made them. Even if you choose a different layout, those are done. As for the positioning, that is where it looked best, so it didn't look like it was hanging in the middle of the coat. I absolutely would have done it lower if that's what you wanted. I'm so sorry for the confusion. Please let me send you a T-shirt on me. What size in a unisex tee would you like? Let me know. You say, oh, thanks, I'm a medium. I actually should have said it to you, too. I didn't think it would be that high, but yes, it's beautiful. Thank you. Oh, that's November 29th, okay? And then on December 19th, she says, I'm reaching out because I've sent you multiple PayPal requests and you haven't paid. Where's the one where you say, what's the meaning of this? It was supposed to be embroidered. Where is that? Right, give me that. I'm going to show you what date that is, because in the copy you're giving the court, there's no date, right?
Yeah, that was a screenshot of a text I took with my old phone.
Yeah, except for that's a long time later.
No, it was actually like 2 days later.
No, it wasn't. So if it's a screenshot, pull your phone out and show me how it's 2 days later.
I don't have it on this phone.
Well, you screenshot it from something, right?
This is a new phone. Yeah, my husband.
Okay. I don't even see this one in her texts. But in any event, let's go on with the other things that you say. December 19th, she says, I've sent the request out to you many times and I haven't received payment. You say, what? I have it automatically do the payment. I swear it paid through my bank card. I am at work until 11, so tomorrow when I get up, I will check. I'm sorry, but I really thought it was paid. And she's very deferential to you. I might be losing my mind. I'm sure it's me. If you paid, just send me a screenshot. I just didn't get it through PayPal. Maybe you sent it a different way. You say, I'll double check. And then you write to her, I finally got someone at PayPal because on my credit card it says sent, but on PayPal it says no. So if you know she wasn't paid, why didn't you pay her then in December of 2021?
I sent a check.
December of 2021?
I don't remember the date of it.
You want me to tell you when it was? When was it that she sent the check?
This episode is brought to you by Amazon. The holidays are here, and you know what that means? It's time to get your friends and family the gifts they deserve. Take the stress out of shopping with Amazon's great deals and low prices on a huge range of items from toys to tech and much more. Whoever you're gifting for, Amazon has great prices on everything you need this holiday season. Shop Black Friday week starting November 21st.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See detail.
She sent the check this year on August 3rd.
Of this year, because in December 22nd, you say, yeah, but a supervisor's going to investigate, call me back. Then a week later, she says, well, have you settled with PayPal yet? Just wondering how you're making out. No, nobody ever got back to me. I sent another message. She's still being super oh, I got hacked once. Make sure you do X, Y, Z. Then in January 20th, she says, hey, have you made any progress with PayPal in your bank? Because the lady would like to get paid for something that she received when?
November 26th, I mailed it out.
Hey there. Yeah, I'm sorry. My uncle passed away. I'll be home on the 23rd. I will try to do it then on PayPal. If not, I'll just give you the card number. I apologize. I had so much crap going on with family. I feel terrible. Well, not too terrible. Because she says, I'm sorry for your loss. We'll talk soon. And then she waits until March.
We talked in between that, though. On the phone.
Did you talk? Did you pay her? Did you pay her when you talked to her?
I did ask her.
January 20th, you're not paying her. February, you're not paying her. March 7th, hello. Just checking in to see if you're able to pay through the invoice through PayPal. No response. March 16th. Hey, Sue, I was just wondering if you ever sent the payment. I haven't seen anything. I just want to make sure I didn't miss it. April 14th. Have you sent payment? I haven't seen anything yet. July. You still have an outstanding bill. I've sent it through PayPal. I'd appreciate it if you pay it. July of 4 days later. Hey, I was able to see that you viewed my message, but I haven't heard from you. Typically, I would charge interest. You should have charged interest. This payment is now 6 months overdue, and I will go to small claims court if I don't hear back from you. Thanks for messaging us. We try to be as responsive as possible. We'll get back to you soon. Who sent that?
That was from my dog's webpage where she harassed on that.
Harassed?
Webpage.
If you just answered her other texts and emails, she would. If you just paid the lady for you got this check and you paid how much? How much did you pay?
I sent her a check. I don't remember what the amount was.
You sent her a check in August. What did you do between November and August?
I had sent her a check before that.
You claimed that PayPal had paid her. Do you have any proof PayPal paid her?
No, I talked to PayPal
in San Jose. Do you have any proof that your credit card got charged by PayPal but didn't give her the money, which is the excuse you're giving some other time?
It was all automatic withdrawals that my husband and I set up on PayPal.
Do you have anything that shows that your bank card got charged for her work?
No, not on
no.
That. It's
so we
PayPal.
know she never got paid. And it's August when you finally sent a check. And how much did she send a check for?
The check was for $75. Originally, the bill was $125. I had lost the original invoice through PayPal because it was canceled for whatever reason, be it PayPal canceled it because she was hacked or she canceled it. When I went to find it again, I couldn't find it, so I went off the little slip of paper that we take at the show, and it would have been $85. So that's why
Why didn't you just look up your messages back and forth with her?
Well, that was when I realized I was in my emails and I was looking for somebody else's email, and I typed in a different name, and all of a sudden I found all the original emails from before December 30th that were under a different email for her. And that's when I realized, that's when I was able to find the original invoice. But I wasn't going to go back and tell her, listen, it's $125 now, not $85. I would have been perfectly happy.
So you had accidentally told her $85 or sent her $85 months later when she still hadn't paid you. You would have accepted the $85, and then she sent you a check for what?
$75.
And that's when you and your imminent patience finally snapped.
It was a little kick in the stomach, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I've been waiting all this time, and I can honestly say that I never talked to her on the phone.
Why did you send her $75 and not
That's what we discussed on the phone. And what I was trying to explain earlier was, and you were talking about something else, and I didn't want to interrupt you, was that I did send one check already prior to that, and she never got it, she said.
Well,
and I know I sent it.
Can you prove you sent it?
So.
Do you know you sent it just like you definitely sent something saying this was supposed to be embroidered?
Just like I sent this one, and she says she got this one now.
I know, but I can't trust you. Number one, this bill was outstanding almost a year. And so already I don't trust you. And you're full of excuses like your uncle died and this happened, I got hacked, I got blah, blah, blah. The check is in the mail, the dog ate my homework, so I already can't trust you. Number two, you tell me that this is a text that you sent her. However, I have all the texts in order from her, and I don't see this anywhere. If I had received this beautiful work that I had picked out and she had executed so beautifully, and I had this and wore it for a year, do you know how bad I would feel when she has to chase me, I don't know how many, 8 times or whatever it is? And why would you choose to send $75 when you know damn well that it was supposed to be $125?
Because that's what we had talked about. And
but
that's why I brought other evidence
no, hold on.
Stuff that I went.
You said, I read to you your text to her where you say to her, just got the jacket. I didn't think it was going to cost so much. I was like 75, maybe 100.
Right.
So why didn't you send her 100? Especially since you made her wait 9 months for it.
Because we had discussed a previous time. We discussed a different price. It was 85, then 75, then this, and then 85. But she never told me how much the other stuff was.
Yeah, but you knew it was going to be more, and I know you know because you even say I was like 75, maybe 100. So you know that. This is nonsense. We all work hard, and we all want to get paid for our work.
She did get paid.
She did get paid when? When did she put any money in her pocket?
Twice she got paid.
Proof she got paid.
And I never heard anything about it.
The only thing that she says she got was almost a year later, a $75 check.
She had gotten a check.
Which I have.
Hold on. I'm sorry, go ahead.
which she got previous, she had a check and never cashed it, never did anything. It
How
never
do you
came
know
out of
she
my
received
account.
it? A minute ago you said she
sent
never
it to her,
received
though.
it.
Well, I don't know if she received it. I'm assuming she received it, but
If
she never said
received
anything to me.
it,
I
why
never
would she
heard from
continue
her.
to chase you for a check?
Well, what I'm saying is, you're not listening. Is that
No, I'm listening. I just don't like what I'm hearing. No,
I'm trying to
I really
understand
don't
to tell
like what
you
I'm
that.
hearing. So now stop talking and you listen to me.
Months went
the
by.
problem that you have is that her work wasn't of value to you. You decided, even after you told her how beautiful it was and that you
I thought
love
it was
it.
beautiful.
No, stop talking. Even after I can see, and I've read you your texts and emails to her, where you tell, oh, my uncle died. Oh, they hacked my account. You're full of excuses because you just don't want to pay. That's all. You're just like a regular deadbeat. No. There's no explanation or excuse for your deadbeatness. No. It's just old-fashioned deadbeatness. Now, let me talk to you. I realize that you are a patient woman. Who is the man next to you?
This is my husband.
He's a very lucky man because you are a very patient woman, okay? But you're running a business, and your business has to be run like a business, not like a favor. Okay? So send a bill, keep a copy of the bill, and tell them that there's interest from the beginning so that you don't get burned like this again. $125 to the plaintiff, plus prejudgment statutory interest since November when she received it, plus your court costs.
So the plaintiff prevails. In no uncertain terms, she gets the full $125 plus interest, court costs, and some more. Let's see what the defendant has to say. The judge really let her have it. Ms. Sagarmunsi, what's your reaction? The judge called you simply a deadbeat. How about that?
She can have her opinion, but, I mean, it's not what it is. She got paid twice. She did some crappy work, but nothing I could do about it. I'll just let everybody know not to use her ever again.
The judge said you just didn't want to pay.
Yep.
You just didn't want to pay.
Oh, I paid her twice. She just didn't cash my check, and she still has my check.
If she did, why would you be here in court, huh?
I guess she wanted to get her company some fame. I don't know.
Well, look, you're just full of excuses, and I'm sorry the judge didn't buy your stories. That's it, my dear.
I go with good companies from now on. Thank you.
You're on your way out.
Have
Goodbye.
a good one.
Let's see what the plaintiff, a very patient woman, the judge says. Ms. Warren, and your husband, you're very lucky. She's a very patient woman, right?
Got that right.
What's your reaction, Ms. Warren? Was it worth it doing this, going to court to get this money?
I'm tired of, I've been in business for like 16 years with this business, and I've only had one bounce check in all those years, and this was the second time I've had something happen, and I feel like it should be taken care of. I'm very trusting. I don't charge people up front because you don't know what it's going to be in the end. And she never sent me any checks. I have one check she sent. That was in August, and the judge now has it, so.
Yeah. You know, when you said the price you would charge for embroidery, I thought it would be a lot more than that, because embroidery is hard to do. It's not easy.
Yeah, that was a rough estimate. I wouldn't know unless I actually digitized it, but it would have been at least that.
Well, listen, good for you. I'm glad you finally got your money, okay?
Thank you.
It was worth suing her and bringing her to court, right?
It was worth it to show that you can't get away with it, yeah.
Good for you. Okay.
Thanks.
Congratulations, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
With that, we'll bring this case to a close. Very good. Harvey, what are your thoughts?
Doug, I got to tell you, these texts are everything in this case, and texts are so important. In many ways, they're as important as a contract itself, because a text shows the conduct of both parties. And if you send a text to somebody and they acknowledge they owe you money, it is pretty much case over.
Would you still use a cracked phone, or would you have to replace it as soon as it's broken? Yeah, I think there's two kinds of people in the world, aren't there?
Those who walk around with like tape holding their glasses together, and those who don't. Well, actually, I kind of kept some actual physical proof that, yeah, I would, because as you can see, the back of my phone is cracked all to hell. The glass is broken on it, but
it doesn't affect the performance.
No, the front looks okay. So.
If it was cracked in the front, you had to look through that to see your messages. You would probably have it fixed.
Yeah, probably. But like, I think little splinters are like coming off on my hand if I don't keep the cover on it.
You should keep the cover on it. That's how this happened to begin with, isn't it?
These things, they're so delicate. You could crack the face of these things with a dirty look. It's not like...
You're a little indelicate, though.
Maybe I am, but I miss the old Motorola cell phones that came out way back in the beginning in like the 80s.
The shoe phones?
Yeah, it was like the size of a shoebox. It was some gigantic thing, but they were durable, right? The battery lasted about 10 minutes, okay? but they were so durable, you couldn't hurt them, right? You could lose them.
When I was working for the state attorney's office as a prosecutor, we finally made it to the big time where the prosecutors on duty, there were 2 prosecutors on duty at any given time to answer search warrants, you know, compile the search warrants, take care of whatever legal questions police officers all around Miami-Dade County had. And so we finally got those Motorola phones, and they weighed 100 pounds.
They cost a king's ransom.
Cost a king's ransom. Right? And on the first week of duty, each one of them lost the phone. And so that was it. It was another 2 years without phones. And we had to put beepers back on thanks to those 2.
Blinds.com is kicking off the savings early with Black Friday mega deals all month long. A Blinds.com design expert can help you make the perfect selection on your schedule. We can even handle everything from measure to your whole home installed for just one low cost. With over 25 million windows covered, Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Save up to 45% on select styles, plus a free professional measure right now at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions may apply.
This is the plaintiff, Linda Gomez. She says she found the defendants a perfect apartment. Their application was approved. But once they met the landlord, he discovered they lied on their application by stating they had no pets. He felt deceived, and the landlord canceled the contract. And they still owe her the $1,757 commission they agreed to pay. So she's suing. These are the defendants, Justin and Sandy. Justin says they told the landlord they would give their cat to Justin's grandparents, so it wasn't an issue. The landlord changed his mind and decided not to rent to them. Now the plaintiff thinks she should collect a commission? No way. They're accused of telling a feline-fib.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff says she is an excellent real estate agent who found an apartment for the defendants, and now they're trying to stiff her on her commission. But the defendants say the landlord changed his mind about renting to them, and they don't owe this woman a penny. It's the case of broker. He hardly knew her.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
All right, Ms. Linda, you are suing Mr. Justin and Ms. Sandy for $1,757 in broker fee that you are, according to you, entitled to, that they refused to pay. Tell me about it. What happened?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I'm Linda Gomez. On April 21st, Justin reached out to me through email and text, very interested in seeing a unit in Beacon Street in Boston. The next day, I scheduled everything. We met. The property manager and landlord's agent was there, and he and I conducted the showing. We walked through it. They loved it. It was perfect location for them since it was 7 minutes walk from their new job. So it was a no-brainer. A few hours later, I sent all the paperwork required to have this apartment taken off the market. And they sent all the applications very promptly, very well filled out, and I submitted them with their proof of income, credit reports, all the applications and broker's fee disclosure that they signed. When the landlord reviewed it, he loved it, and he said, yes, I want to rent my apartment to them, but I would like to have a Zoom meeting before giving the final answer.
So did they have a Zoom meeting and he gave the final answer? Everything was fine? What went wrong?
So when the lease was produced and Justin and his partner looked at it, they saw that there was a rule that no pets were allowed in the building. And they came back to the landlord saying like, oh, we have a cat. What can we do about it?
Wait, because the timing of stuff is important, and I'm getting confused.
Yes.
Yeah. They put in an application. Do they mention that they have pets?
No, zero. They
pet.
actually wrote down zero.
Zero pet. Okay. Then you say it's a done deal. They got the apartment and they notice in the lease, but they had already signed the lease?
No. At that point, when they wanted to have the landlord to either change the rule about the pet or just have them to know what to do, the landlord felt like they lied on the application.
So the landlord backed out?
Yes. The landlord said.
And you feel that they still owe the brokerage fee, even though the deal didn't happen, they still owe the brokerage fee because it's their fault?
Yes. You shouldn't lie on an application. If you have a cat, but you have one cat, give the landlord the opportunity to respond to that.
Well, how do you know? How do you know that they weren't going to just make other arrangements for the cat?
Because the building association has a rule of no pets.
No, I'm saying like at the time that okay, let me hear from you, Mr. Justin and Ms. Sandy, whoever wants to talk first, and tell me what's going on here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll go first. Everything she said up to this point is true, accurate. We went through everything, through all the process. It got to the point where we were presented a lease, and they're pretty standard. We knew going into Boston, roughly 20% of landlords allow cats, less than 9% allow dogs, less than 1% allow big dogs. So we knew going in this could be an issue. So we made plans ahead of time with my grandfather, who's had cats his whole life, as needed. When we got the lease on it specifically, it says no pets allowed, which is true, but then also at the end it says ask for written permission if applicable. So if we thought, okay, well, we already made these plans, we have a cat that we love, why don't we just try to ask him? We had a great Zoom interview, they loved us, why don't we just try to ask him if he could have a cat? A cat doesn't really do much, it just sits there. Turned out
cats can do a lot.
That's all for sure.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. They're, I mean, cats can urinate, and you can never get the smell out. There's problems. But also, my understanding is that the landlord lives in the building, and the landlord is allergic.
I believe they have 3 locations. I'm not sure if they live there. They have a place in London. They have a place in New York. They have a place. So we weren't even sure if they lived there. We were looking because we were asking because there's so many options we could do. We could have it professionally cleaned upon leaving. There's so many different ways we can mitigate the issue. Or like we said from the beginning, we could give it away that we already made plans for. So we expressed
to Grandpa.
We sent that. That's correct. My grandpa, I called him in that morning and he immediately said, oh, do you have a cat for me? Because that's just kind of how he is. Like, he'll take care of issues if they pop up for as needed.
Okay, so
we emailed them at 11
So
o'clock.
you decided to email the landlord directly and ask the landlord, listen, the lease says with written permission I could have a pet, so I'm asking you, we have a cat we got together. So you actually already had the cat, right? And you say, do you think it would be okay? It's a very sweet cat, blah, blah, blah. And then the landlord says, absolutely not, I'm allergic. And that's a deal breaker. And then what do you say?
I had called my grandfather 20 minutes before we learned all this information about them being against us. We'll let them know, thank you. It's unfortunate that you're allergic to cats because, I mean, cats are great. We love them, but like we already made plans for this. We've had them throughout my life. I know that it's going to be hard for us to do this, but like we both moved to Boston for new jobs in Boston. It's a requirement. We have to be here. Like we have to get this done. We're visiting Boston just to get this done. We were going to do what we had to do essentially. And at that point, we effectively got communication cut. There was a scorched earth process. The landlord never spoke to us, only spoke to us through the real estate firm, through his side of this. And then Linda also let us know that they were kicking us out as well. So this
kicking us out. Wait, kicking us out is a little strong. Hold on one second.
Yes, sorry.
Because you hadn't moved in. But, well, let's see what you say. We have a few questions regarding what we should do with a few of our lease items. 1 is their parking. 2, we notice there's no dogs or other animals clause in the lease. We have a 1-year-old ragdoll cat we got together. We trim her nails and bathe her once a month. She's extremely gentle, incredibly social. Would you give us permission to allow the cat? I am sure just acknowledging that would work for the document because, of course, the lease says no pets unless written permission. All right, and thank you for your help. We're looking forward to going to Boston. And the response is, oh, I am so sorry. There are no pets allowed. I am extremely allergic to cats besides, and I am afraid that is non-negotiable. To which you respond, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. There's so much joy. I've had them throughout my life. We thought that might be a possibility. So we made plans to give her to my grandparents in Vermont. They've been looking for a second one to pair with their short hair, and it's close enough to visit. Thank you for letting us know so quickly so we can get things taken care of. So they're following the rules. They're trying to see if they can get permission for the cat, which it might have been yes, and then it turns out to be no, and they say, oh, no problem, no problem. We've already made an arrangement, and we'll just go with the arrangement, not a problem. And then the landlord changes his mind. So why should they have to pay the broker's fee?
Welcome back to the People's Court. The plaintiff says she wants her commission because she didn't do anything wrong, and it's the defendant's fault regarding their cat. Let's go back into the courtroom, find out who wins.
It doesn't sound like they're the ones who changed their minds. Ms. Gomez?
Your Honor, I don't know if you have the application in front of you.
I'm going to assume the application says 0 pets.
Yeah,
but
0.
all they did was ask. Stop. If they had already spoken to the grandparents and they had already, then they have 0 pets. It's not necessarily a lie. But what's the big deal? They asked. They were told no. They very politely, they didn't argue. They just said, okay, we've made this arrangement, so we'll just go with. They're ready, willing, and able to take the apartment. And the landlord pulls out. Under those circumstances, and maybe the landlord felt like they were lying to, I don't know, I got a bad feeling. Great, the landlord can do what he wants, but go sue the landlord if you don't like it. How is it they did something wrong? They only have to pay you if the deal was going to happen and they backed out, not if the landlord backs out because the landlord got a bad feeling. I don't know what happened here, but what happened isn't their fault, and I'm not going to order them to pay you that broker's fee. My verdict in this case is for the defendants.
Thank you. Can I speak?
So, unfortunately for the plaintiff, if she does not prevail, she doesn't get that broker's fee. The judge says no way. Ms. Gomez, what are you thinking right now? The judge says you can't get that fee. The deal fell apart.
I feel the judge should have written my broker's fee disclosure, where it says that if the party is approved and a lease is produced, then the broker's fee is owed, even if after the fact the tenants back out and decide not to move in or something else happened afterwards. Actually, this happened before to me 2 or 3 times. All these times, my fee was paid. I invested time. This is my livelihood. I don't have any other way of living other than being an agent. So I did my job.
I understand that.
For a lie,
but the
for
judge,
a lie that they told.
The judge pointed out the deal never went through. They never signed the lease. He stopped the process. So you really didn't have a completed deal, right?
No, the deal doesn't need to be completed. They just need to be accepted verbally. The apartment was taken off the market for them.
Anyway, look, bottom line is you gave your points to the judge. She didn't buy it, and she said you don't deserve the fee. I'm sorry, but that's the court's decision, and you're going to have to live with it. Justin, Zandy, let me ask you. I assume you found another apartment that you're happy with. Looks like it. Am I right?
Yes, we found a place that's we allowed to have our cats, so we're happy about that.
Well, that's good. Okay. Well, all's well as ends well. Were you afraid that you were going to have to pay that fee to the broker? That's a lot of money.
I don't think so overall. Yeah, it is a lot of money overall, just for a very small amount of just making a couple of phone calls. We were very happy that it went in that direction. We agreed immediately with the judge from the beginning that if they were going to go after someone, it should definitely have been the person who pulled out of the deal, not the person who was left holding the bag in the end of it. We didn't really see how we were at fault. We were trying to go with everything. We made plans ahead of time. We knew what we were trying to find, and we knew what we would run into, and we made sure we were prepared. So we were kind of frustrated with the whole process.
All right. Listen, that's very understandable. So good luck. Good for you. Good for you. By the way, how's Boston? How do you like Boston?
Phenomenal. Other than the weather sometimes. I mean, we found a place, ended up being on Boston Common. It's great. We can go to the park and we can bring our cat out on the grass. Everyone gets to see her, play with her. It's been, if anything from this whole ordeal, it made us realize how important Layla is, our cat, to us. And it made us happier in the end, it feels like.
All right. Well, good for you. So all's well that ends well. Good luck. Enjoy your new careers in Boston, and good luck to you.
Awesome.
Harvey?
Thank you so much.
So, Doug, this really is a case about who pulled the plug. I mean, it's pretty clear when you watch the testimony that it's the landlord that pulled the plug. The real estate agent is working for the landlord, and if the landlord decides to 86 the deal, then the realtor is simply out of luck, even if the realtor did a good job.
After a case when the losing litigant says you're never getting it after being ordered to return something, what happens to the item?
Let's say we had a lawsuit and you had my bicycle and I got a judgment from the court that says I win, you have to give back the bicycle, right? And you say, no. I still have a few cards I can play. I can go back to the judge and ask for an order of replevin, what they call a replevin order, which is an opportunity to get the thing back. And when the judge signs that, you take it to probably your county sheriff, and they will go to that house, wherever it is, with you. And their order may have a break order, too, that will allow them to break the door open. In some circumstances, judges will give orders that allow them to force the lock and break into the house and retrieve the item. The sheriff is there not to get the item, but to keep the peace when you go there and escort you to get in and take it. That's one way, but there are others, right?
Contempt.
Exactly.
Go back to the judge and let the judge know that he's refusing to give it to me, and that usually doesn't go well for the refuser.
No. And the judge could fine you daily if you don't give it back. The judge could put you in jail.
Right. Until you give it back.
30 days or $30 or whatever the hell they want to do with it, they can make it hurt.
Yeah.
So most people are going to give back the bicycle at the end of the day.